Previously on Dream House. The drywall went up.
This looks like a real house now.
But with time ticking away, the sweat equity was falling behind.
It's just not all going to get done in time. There's no way.
And worries about the budget sent tensions through the roof.
What? I buy tools that I need to get the job done.
Now there's just a little over a month left to finish the house.
There's no way we're gonna make this deadline.
Stephen and Shannon are running out of steam.
Just non-stop, go, get it done.
And a critical inspection could derail everything.
The perfect storm is happening in our lives right now. And all we want to do is get in the house.
After more than 10 long months of sweat equity and construction.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
The finishing touches are going in at Stephen and Shannon's dream house in Northern Virginia.
We're just looking forward to being able to settle and, just not have all of this other stuff hanging over our head and just being able to, be a family again and just kind of regroup and focus on the kids and focus on each other.
The Mackeys plan to live in the basement of their new 4,300 square foot timber frame home and use the main floor as a wine tasting bar and live music venue for their new vineyard.
The goal of this whole thing was to have a beautiful home and make wine and just create a special place for us and the boys and, people to come and visit and just be part of a special experience.
But there's less than 6 weeks left before their $1.2 million construction loan expires.
We're definitely still staying focused on things that need to be completed for the occupancy permit.
The house still needs paint, cabinets, countertops, staircase railings, electrical work, and floors. And if all of it isn't done before the loan expires, the Mackeys could have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to refinance the loan.
We don't even know what it's going to cost us if we don't make this deadline. And right now, there's no way we're going to make this deadline.
And outside, foundation work is just beginning on a new equipment building for the winery.
That's always been part of our financial plan and our business plan. The question was always when.
But they can't afford to wait.
Once the business is up and running, we need to start making things happen fast because the mortgage is going to be a substantial mortgage. And in order to start taking care of that mortgage, we need to be making wine.
But it adds one more project that must be finished before the construction loan expires.
Gonna go sit down for 37 seconds and start tiling our bathroom.
No end in sight.
And it's up to Stephen and Shannon to get most of the interior work done by the May 9th deadline.
Is that your way of tuning me out for the day?
I don't need to hear what you say. I'll just my usual response. Yes, dear.
Oh, shut up.
I'm completely thrilled with how Shannon and I are, pulling it together and getting our piece of the puzzle done. She's doing a great job, lining people up to help babysit.
Oh wow, that's gonna look great.
So that she can get over here on the weekends and get some painting done and help out with the cabinets.
Stephen's mom's got the boys right now, and that just kills me. Talk about guilt. So I just need to get this house done so that I can take care of my boys properly.
How do you like my desk? My biggest concern right now is just not being able to get as much time here as I had hoped to without, letting stuff at work fall through the cracks.
Oh, we're both just dangling on the hairy edge right now.
The schedule can't take any more setbacks.
Last time I had this feeling, it didn't turn out so good.
24 holes must be drilled into the rocky soil to anchor the new equipment building to the ground.
The posts of the building go down probably 3 or 4 feet. And I think when they were digging the footers, they got into some rock and stuff.
They're on a rock pile, man. I'm still trying to get through it. A lot of rock, just tough drilling. Keeping holes, where the holes need to be. They wanted to kick around on us. It makes it tough.
They had told me it would probably take them like 3 hours to do the whole thing. I think it took more like 8 or 9 to get all those holes dug.
I'll tell you what, that's a big old truck here.
I think that was like an extra $600 in equipment time.
The perfect storm is happening in our lives right now. And all we want to do is get in the house. and then shut the door and not come out for a very long time.
It definitely seems like things are on pace outside.
But now, critical work inside the house is on hold.
My big concern right now is the electricians. Haven't seen anybody for 2 weeks in here, so the house is pretty much sitting empty waiting for them.
The electricians were hired by the general contractor.
They send one guy out to wire it, and then they send one guy out to put plugs in, and he looks around and is like, oh, there's painters here, I'll come back later, and then they just disappear for 2 weeks.
Typically, I don't like them being in here until all the paint is done. There's so much stuff in there and so many people that were in there. They were kind of walking over top of one another. I think they were getting frustrated.
But until all the electrical work is finished, the house can't go through final inspection. And Stephen and Shannon cannot close out their construction loan.
It should not be taking this long to get this stuff done. People just don't care. So, if there's no accountability, they're not gonna care. So time's up.
It's time for drastic measures.
Tomorrow is pretty much gonna be the make or break for them. If they don't show up tomorrow, I'm actually probably firing them.
The appliances are going in.
Baby!
But there's still no power.
The first electrician that steps through the front door gets the job.
And the move-in deadline is looking bleak.
I'm just kind of resigning my fact that we're not going to make it.
Just 5 days after framing began, the roof is going up on the equipment building for Stephen and Shannon's new vineyard in Northern Virginia.
I had some challenges with the weather. It was very, very windy, and those guys have to be pretty high up in lifts, moving around sheet metal panels and stuff. To see it come together as quickly as it has is just very encouraging.
But time is running out to get the vineyard ready for spring.
I have some work to do in the vineyard before the vines come up, keep the rows clean, and then I have trellis wire to run, start getting ready for the start of the season. I guess the rest of the world gets Easter weekend off. I'm taking 30 seconds.
But the work inside the house can't wait either.
First appliance in Casamaki.
There's less than a month to go before May 9th. The day the construction loan expires.
What we're trying to do right now is make sure that we have everything in place that the phantom electricians need to have when they come in to do the wiring. So I'm just making sure that they have all the materials that they need, that all the appliances are out and in place.
Hey! Wow! Ah! Baby! This is like real!
But after 2 weeks of waiting, there's still no electrician.
Subs not being able to show up, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, just typical stuff.
And there's no more time to wait.
Okay, they're all fired.
I know they got other projects going on now, but it's like, just finish this one already. We don't want to be mean people. We just want our house.
So I started making some phone calls and found someone who was interested. So, the first electrician that steps through the front door gets the job.
The next day, the contractor's electricians finally arrive.
It's just ridiculous that he has to get to the point of saying someone's fired before somebody actually gets their butt out here.
I just kind of kick myself for not applying as much pressure as I have been lately earlier in the game. Because I wonder if I had, who knows, we probably wouldn't be in this situation that we are in right now.
They'll be done well before May 9th.
But now that the wires are in place, Stephen has to install the special lighting for the concert stage over the wine tasting bar.
Each of these is assigned a channel, so you can individually change the color of every light.
The name of the winery itself is Notaviva, which means, note of life. So just as much as it is a winery, it's also got to have that music presence, whether it's a jazz trio or it's a quintet, or if it's just Stephen up there playing with his brother. I don't think you'll find anything like this anywhere else.
It's a rock show.
And it's all supposed to be controlled by a computer.
I'm supposed to be seeing some green lights in there. I'm not seeing anything. Thing ain't working. Just seems to have happened a lot during the course of this project. There's been quite a few things out of the box that haven't worked. Basically, the power supply is faulty. I just don't have the time for this.
Is it a fuse where you just need to switch it out?
That's not even making it to the fuse.
We gotta send it back and everything else?
I mean, at this point, it would be easy to just say, forget it. You know, forget May 9th. Forget the occupancy permit. We'll pay the penalties. We'll pay whatever. But then who knows how long it'll take.
I'm just kind of resigning my fact that we're not gonna make our deadline. There's just no way.
I'm gonna go hard until May 9th. I ain't giving up, man. I'm gonna get there.
But with time running out, the push to finish could backfire.
You end up costing yourself more time when you get in a hurry.
And the budget takes the hit.
We've definitely had to dip into some savings and go over budget just on labor.
Just 28 days left and counting before the construction loan expires on Stephen and Shannon's dream house and vineyard in Northern Virginia.
We really made a lot of great progress the past 3 days. The electrical guys really came in and been rocking and rolling, getting plugs and switches and fixtures installed.
But there's still a lot of sweat equity left to do.
The next big thing that I'm worried about a little bit is the master suite. That tub has got to be boxed in.
I had actually started to forget about it because I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. But oh my God, I cannot wait to get in that tub.
We have to get the fireplace up and running. We're definitely cutting it tight on time.
And custom jobs, like converting an old wine barrel into a stand for a bathroom sink, are slowing things down.
No idea if this is gonna work. Oh, this is gonna be a $300 mistake. Carving a big wood pumpkin. That wasn't so bad. Ready for Freddy.
And Stephen is still planning to hand build all the railings for the house himself.
I made 27 of these bad boys. It's essentially the same finish as the timber frame. Basically designed the railing to be a miniature timber frame.
Steve's a go, 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 go kind of guy.
I just keep walking around in circles.
He bit off a big chunk on the house.
You end up costing yourself more time when you get in a hurry, because you always have to come back and redo something, tear something out.
He did finally decide to have someone else do the stairs and all the railings.
I'll probably do one section myself just to try out my design.
But the hired help is putting a $5,000 squeeze on the budget.
We've definitely had to, you know, dip into some savings and go over budget just on labor.
He's realizing he's down to the wire. I mean, there's still a ton to get done before May 9th.
But at least one big project is coming in on schedule.
It's a great building.
Oh my God, yeah, it's huge. That space up there is fantastic.
The new equipment building for the winery is finished.
It's got such a high ceiling because you need to have the catwalks and stuff in order to access all the wine equipment.
At this point, the winery building is essentially just a glorified shed.
We were looking to go as inexpensive as possible and still have the building that we needed.
Still, it's eating up the entire $40,000 contingency fund in their construction loan.
We had kind of left that money there just as sort of a backup to make sure that we could get the house built.
And it looks like the investment will pay off.
I was home the last 2 days and I got at least 3 calls a day of people calling about the vineyard, asking if we're open this weekend and what events we have going on.
And the timber frame structure is already drawing visitors.
Loudoun County has this brochure, and it talks about the timber frame and we are very interested in timber frames.
So people are calling like crazy, and we're just not, it's just kind of weird, you know? We're not quite in that mode yet. As hard as we work at everything, you know, it's like, it would be great if it was finally paying off. Because, man, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel sometimes, and we work so ridiculously hard.
And one of the most expensive and time-consuming projects is yet to come.
You have to pre-drill every single nail hole, otherwise it'll split the wood.
And time is up to get ready for the inspector.
They burn the thing all weekend, and it's carbon dioxide.
We're behind.
Looking good, fellas.
Nearly a year after work began, the carpet is finally going in the downstairs bedrooms of Stephen and Shannon's dream house in Northern Virginia.
Look at the carpet! Isn't that cool?
And upstairs, the railing work is almost finished around the loft and music stage over the wine tasting bar.
For 6 months, it was a big box with a beautiful timber frame, but now all of these accents is just better than we imagined, and it's humbling, man. I can't wrap my head around it anymore. It's gone beyond anything that I had ever imagined.
But time is running out to finish before the construction loan expires.
We're down to 2 weeks, week and a half. All the intermediate inspections happen next week.
And to get ready for the inspection, all the plumbing and electrical work must be finished.
Everything looking fine on our end. Just waiting for Steve to get those countertops and stuff taken care of.
And Stephen also has to start one of the most difficult jobs of the entire project: installing the special bloodwood floor on the music stage.
Bloodwood is a very dense, very hard, exotic wood from South America. It's not stained to be red. It's just a gorgeous wood, and it's really, really hard.
There was no choice but to hire more help.
It takes special techniques to actually get it in. You can't use a regular flooring hammer. You have to pre-drill every single nail hole and then tap your nail through the hole, otherwise it'll split the wood.
But the help is putting another $7,000 dent in the budget.
There's not been one big expense, but there's been a lot of $2,000 oh by the ways.
And they've already splurged on other luxuries.
Shannon! Come here!
Woo, look!
It's got to be, you know, added up to like 50 grand over where we started, but it may be north of that once we come in with the labor.
Oh my God. That's absurd.
And a home theater system for the kids was never in the budget.
I don't want my kids listening to clock radios.
I'm finding things that he's ordered that I didn't know he had ordered. And I can't buy, you know, shelves for my closet, but the boys can have. You said we've got this budget to spend. They don't need a home theater system when they're 18 months old.
It was on clearance.
Especially when we have this like $10,000 budget, supposedly that's our slush fund to be able to buy, you know, sheets and towels. Because we never, since we've been married, we've not had one nice towel. So now that I know that part of my budget for doing that has gone to a home theater system for the boys.
But there's no disagreement about this.
Oh, wow.
Pretty incredible, huh?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
The custom floor on the music stage is finished.
We can have performances, live events, and it also doubles as, you know, it can be a place for, you know, a couple to get married.
The stage was designed to give the wine tasting venue a competitive edge.
In many ways, that this space is possibly going to be more responsible than anything for creating the magic of what this place is going to be about. I really believe that we're going to be able to, you know, to put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces, and it's going to be great. That's what this was made for.
But the wine tasting bar below the stage is still not finished.
Well, we got to get the countertop.
I was told that the countertop was finished.
It's an enormous countertop, 16 feet long. It's a big candy cane is essentially what it is going into the tasting bar.
And the electricians and the plumbers can't finish until the countertop is installed.
Countertops are kind of the big thing. I mean, all the subs are up to what they can do until the countertop is in.
We can't get our final electrical until the top's in and we can get the disposal and all the faucets in. I think the electricians have one more outlet to put in.
The work is finished just in time. And the gas fireplace in the master suite faces the first inspection.
You see the black soot right in front of it, along the glass? If they burn the thing all weekend, then that's carbon dioxide.
The fireplace fails.
This is set up for natural gas. They have to convert this thing over to propane.
And there's trouble with the electrical work as well.
The wires just hanging. Needs to be in a box or something. Just can't be hanging out there loose like that. Okay. Gets hooked up. It's wide open for anybody to get hurt.
All of it must be fixed. And there's just 8 days left before the construction loan expires.
We're behind.
I'm going to go through tomorrow and just do a list of things that I know that they need to do.
It just all boils down to the last few days and crunch time.
There's nothing special about us, but we do have the ability to just, both of us just have this perseverance that keeps us going. That's what's made it happen. Without that, we would have given up 10 times a Sunday already.
There's going to be a lot of work yet to do.
Next time on Dream House, the push to pass the final inspection.
We're stressed. We're beyond stressed.
There's an enormous house payment around the corner.
I'm focusing on the number now. It's terrifying.
The housewarming party is just days away.
Can you help? Please.
The bloodwood in the tasting room isn't finished. And there's still painting in the basement living quarters to do.
I mean, look at that. Would you come to a party that looked like this?
And Steven's working, which means it all falls on Shannon.
You put together a list. It's not going to happen.
Will they make it? And was it worth it?
The time away from the kids, nothing is worth that sacrifice. Welcome to Notaviva Vineyards.
Yay!
The American dream is alive today, and we are living proof.
That's next time on Dream House.